All right, we're back, and it's 10 Toes Tuesday. We're gonna do a little mic check on this Tuesday. See if going through a car wash, what the sound is. So, we're doing two things. We're gonna keep it 10 toes down, and we're gonna check these mics, these DJI mics, to see how they work. If you're new to the channel, my name is Al. Some people call me Big Unc. I do old head reviews. I do these 10 Toes Tuesdays. I do gun reviews, and I do some product reviews. I also referee a couple sports. So you just get a good mix of everything about my real life when you tune in. If you could for me, since we've been on here for about a minute, if you can do that thummy thingy for me, click that button up or down, doesn't matter to me. I appreciate the comments. I always respond, and I like having them. So since we've got that all the way, let's get on to the subject of the day. Today is, what do you do when you go on vacation, you come back, and someone has violated your space? I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I have a few times. It's not a good thing. But then what do you do when that person is your cousin? Your cousin breaks into your house, steals your stuff, and then you see them wearing it outside. That's a mind trip, huh? So, let's get into it. I'm just finishing up this car wash. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna jump out. I've got to position my mirrors. We'll be back in, and I'll talk about what happened. All right, we see the light of day right now. I'm gonna jump out here, take care of my mirrors. I got my baby all shined up, and we'll continue on. All right, we're back. Let me put my seatbelt on now that I'm out of the car wash. This had to have been the late 80s. I can't tell you the exact year, but I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, something like that. I wasn't too far from high school, and I lived in Alabama. We lived on about an acre and a half or so of land that my grandfather had given to us to build a house, and we built this house. My grandfather owned, it was a couple hundred acres of land. Well, my great-grandfather owned a couple hundred acres of land. He had 20 some odd kids. Out of these kids, he gave each of them a tract of land. He had sold off some other tracts as well along the years to pay for things. But they called him Mr. Moore. His name was Erskine Moore, but that's not what we're here for. All of my family lived on this land. And there were other people on the other side of where I lived that they had other property as well, a couple acres here that he had sold off over the years. I lived right next door to my cousin, which was next door, meaning probably 2 or 3 acres separated us. It took 5-10 minutes to walk down our driveway, walk down the road, it wasn't a street, walk down the road, and then go all the way down his driveway. Our house was set on top of a hill on the back of a lot, on the back of this acreage, and my cousins was the same way. They had a driveway, long driveway, that they put their house on, but they were in a valley. Come on, Lexus. So we grew up together, and everybody was the same social status, which is poor. Everybody's scrambling for something, just trying to make ends meet, you know. We went to school together, we played together, everything together. Well, it turns out my cousin, he just liked to steal stuff, and we knew this, but he had never stolen from us before, because like I said, everybody was fighting for a buck. My parents had finally saved up for a vacation, and we went to Florida. Bought some school clothes, you know, spent a few days down there, relaxed on the beach. Typical vacation stuff. That was one of the first vacations we had in a long time. We left, locked up the house, had somebody feed the dogs, you know, the typical stuff when you get ready for a vacation. But we did not tell them, my cousin, that we were leaving. What ended up happening was we get back, open the door, we go in the house, you know, we turn on the lights, you're happy to be home. We went into our room, and me and my brother, we noticed that our clothes were scattered everywhere. My sister, none of her stuff was messed with. It was just our room and the living room. But there was candle wax in her room, all over the carpet, all over some of her clothes in her bed. Same thing with me and my brother. It was wax all over the carpet, all over the bed. Went to the living room, there was wax. Kitchen, it had wax on it. Someone had been in there more than once, and they didn't turn on the light. They had just used a candle. Went through the little clothes we had to see, you know, what had been taken, not just clothes, but, you know, toys, baseball mitts, things like that. Just your everything that you cherish, you went to see if it was still there or not, because you've been robbed. Police came, we filled out a police report. A couple weeks go by, we had asked, you know, all our neighbors, all our family, hey, did you see anything? No, we didn't see anything. You know, nothing out of the ordinary. But that's because this joker was using a candle really late at night. We started school, month and a half goes by, and one day my cousin shows up with this jersey. Like, that looks familiar. I think that's mine. So we asked him, hey, where'd you get that from? He rattled off some store. Back then, it was a Hills department store. There wasn't a Walmart. There was like a Hills department store and a Kmart. And if any of you guys know what Hills is, yeah, you old. Hills is no longer. So we just kept going. I'm like, man, that shirt really looks like mine. That jersey looks like mine. Those pants, they kind of look like mine. That's looks like the stuff that I'm missing. Where did he get these school clothes from? Next day he comes in. Same thing. He's got on an outfit, but this outfit I knew he couldn't have got from any Hills department or anything. My grandmother had sent me this shirt, this sweatshirt, and she had sewn something into it, like you do with other things. You'll sew a little mark on it, or you'll sew your initials in it. So I confronted him. Now, he's an older cousin, and he's bigger, but I was ready to fight for those clothes. No, this is not yours. This is mine. We did a little shove. He roughed me up a little bit, but told him, hey, cuz that's mine. That's mine. I'm willing to fight for mine. You know, I took the L that day. It happens. I went home, told my parents. They go down to confront his parents. Come to find out, he had taken a bunch of stuff. He had taken some food. He took some clothes. He took a lot of stuff. And when his parents asked him why, he said, I don't have anything. You guys couldn't buy me school clothes. We were hungry. It was kind of a sad situation, but still, you stole from me. Like, you waited until we left to steal from us. So they didn't call the police again and tell them they had found out anything. My parents, the loving people that they are, decided that, as they usually do, that he would have to come up, go to church with us, and he'd have to come on Wednesdays. I don't know if you guys remember this, if you're part of the church, if they still have this, but Wednesday night prayer meeting. I could not stand Wednesday night prayer meeting. I'm like, man, come on. You already got me going on Saturday. Can't watch cartoons from Friday night to Saturday night or a TV show. And now you want me to go to Wednesday night prayer meeting and sing. I despised Wednesday night prayer meeting, but he had to go. So now I'm happy. I want to go to Wednesday night prayer meeting. You know why? Because he has to go to Wednesday night prayer meeting. And man, you stole from me. So yeah, we gonna be in here suffering together. I think he came twice and was like, forget it. I think they wanted him to go like 10 times, but he came twice and said, forget it. We replaced the clothes, placed everything, and told him, you know, don't come up to the house anymore, especially if we're not here. Do not come up to the house. Now I have another cousin that was in between. He was in between myself and my brother. He was still allowed to come up, and we had a good time. But my other cousin, nah, that joker couldn't come up. No, don't want to see you, bro. Not at all. Oh, it's kind of crazy how that happens, huh? How people they'll just take, and I understand he didn't have much. He had even less than we did, but don't steal from me. That's not cool. I just thought that I'd share that with you, and it was a funny story to me. Sucked at the time. I got beat on, got stole from, but it taught me some good lessons, and that's why I don't trust everybody. That's one of the reasons, even if you're family. Just be careful the company you keep, but sometimes the company you keep isn't just friends. Sometimes it's family that'll do you dirty. And with that, until next time, and you know, there will be a next time. I'm out.